I have a line drawn in the length of 100 centimeters, approximately the size of a yardstick. You can see that there's a basketball for reference at a diameter of approximately 24 centimeters. When zooming in, you can see the clip goes beyond the basketball and past a 1 centimeter line drawn to show a size that could be most familiar to the public. Once we go beyond that 1 centimeter size, we reach a line that shows 20 micrometers. In comparison to this 20 micron line, we see two circles. The top one is the size of a human cell, approximately 10 microns, and an average respiratory droplet measuring at 5 microns. Focusing on the human cell, we can see the virus size zoomed in at 0.1 microns. With the virus measuring in at 0.1 microns, the spike protein that interacts with the human cell measures only at 0.01 microns, or 1/10 the length of the virus diameter. When we go back to the respiratory droplet, we can see the small red mark where the virus is at 0.1 microns. Since the virus is so small, people might believe that it can easily be transferred through a face mask, but it isn't that easy. The virus itself is not stable enough to survive without being attached or transported by something else, or in this case, a respiratory droplet. Since the virus can't live by itself, we know it can be transported through respiratory droplets. Though the virus size is small and could pass through a face mask if it could survive on its own, but fortunately it cannot, and the droplet size is too big to make it through the face mask fibers, thus stopping the spread of the virus. When looking at appropriate face masks for prevention of COVID-19, the best mask the CDC recommends to use is the N95 face mask. This is because these face masks remove approximately 99.8% of particles that are approximately 0.1 microns in diameter, which is the same size as the COVID-19 virus. The porous face mask might have holes or fibers that have large enough gaps for the 0.1 micron virus to pass through, but since the virus cannot live on its own, it would have to be transported by the 5 micron size respiratory droplet. Since the virus can't be transferred by itself and needs to be contained within a respiratory droplet, the CDC recommends the public to wear face masks because they prevent respiratory droplets from being transmitted and thus the virus too. To make a comparison, it would be like trying to fit a beach ball that is 18.5 feet in diameter through a golf ball hole of 4.5 inches in diameter. And how I came to this conclusion is if we know that 0.1 is the diameter size of the virus and 5 microns is the size of a respiratory droplet, the 5 micron size is 50 times larger than the 0.1 diameter of the virus. Thus, if we compare the virus to the golf ball hole of 4.5 inches, 50 times the size of 4.5 inches is 18.75 feet in diameter. The same philosophy applies to surfaces. Surfaces can transfer the virus as well, but only when it is attached to something, such as a respiratory droplet. Although the virus can be more or less stable depending on the surface it is upon, and that depends on how long it survives upon that surface. When someone touches a surface that has a respiratory droplet containing the virus, then touches their eyes or mouth, the droplet can more easily be infiltrated into a human cell due to the area being a high moisture area. When it is just on someone's hand, since the hand doesn't have as much moisture as the eye or mouth, it can be more easily rid of through washing your hands or using hand sanitizer. This is why the CDC recommends wearing masks, washing hands for at least 20 seconds, standing 6 feet apart from others, and often washing down surfaces with appropriate cleaners. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned something new about the COVID-19 general information and size to scale. Thank you.